Okay, Mr. Hernandez, let's start. You're running for City Council District 5, and let's start with your 2-minute opening statement.
Okay, well, thank you for having me here. As a matter of fact, let me see if I could start my video here.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Super. Yep.
There. Okay.
You're on.
All right. Like I said, I'm actually running for re-election for City Council District 5. And I want to say there's been a lot of things that I was able to accomplish in the short 2 years I've been here. I've created a public improvement district policy, did a lot of work within the city staff, basically rewrote the budget policy, had additional police officers scheduled within the budget. And I could go on with other things specifically, but I want to get across that there's still a lot more that I feel I need to do. And, you know, we're in this discussion with DSAL currently, and it's important that we do our due diligence on this. And there's some disagreements on how best to proceed on this, but we need to make sure that we're doing the best that we can for our ratepayers to ensure that we have the lowest cost possible water, so we don't do the same thing we did with the Mary Roads Pipeline Phase 2. We pay $4.73 for every 1,000 gallons. Water coming out of Lake Corpus Christi is $1.67. So it's almost 4 times as much because we rushed through the process and we didn't look at other alternatives. So it's important that we do the right things going forward. And I think it's important for someone like myself that has the financial acumen and the courage to stand up for the citizens, not only of District 5, but of Corpus Christi, to really move this forward. And I hopefully the voters that are out there will see the hard work and the effort I put into City Council and will re-elect me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. You know what? We will go ahead and do the questions, and if Mr. Lewis pops on, we'll just patch his questions in. So questions and answers. So question 1. How do you see the city of Corpus Christi ensuring our future access to important resources like water, balancing the needs of the environment and the economy with jobs in industry and tourism? And you have 1 minute.
Okay, the most important thing here is to get it correct. I mean, there are certain safeguards in place for the environment. We have TCEQ, the permitting process. There are a lot of things that will be looked at. Plus, you know, we have organizations here like the Heart Institute, University of Texas, that will guide us and advise us on the environmental aspects of desal. However, ultimately, we got to make sure that we're doing the right, we're looking at all options to whether it be groundwater, whether it be wastewater reuse, or whether it be desal, to make sure that we're looking at it from the financial perspective so we don't put that cost on you. You know, we are under a consent agreement with the EPA. I don't know if you've seen the lawsuit that we're in, but it's going to require us to spend $725 million over the next 15 years, which tantamounts to about $50 million a year. It's important that we make these decisions because we already have upward pressure on our utility bill, and I'm going to make sure that we make the right decision as best I possibly can.
All right, thank you very much. Question number 2. Public comments to City Council have been limited to emails and callbacks with capped lengths due to COVID-19. If elected, what public comment policies, if any, will you pursue to provide equitable access for all citizens?
Well, it's my thought that we should reintroduce people addressing their City Council directly. We're going to be doing steps here in October, not only to have City Council in session as a complete council, but also have 3-minute call-ins, or we're working towards getting people in person. But it's my goal. It's important for the citizens to be able to address their City Council and any other government directly. I think it's even stated in the Constitution that way. So on a personal level, I think it's important that we have people be able to speak to us directly.
All right, thank you very much. And question number 3. In your opinion, what issues within District 5 need the most attention? If elected, what solutions will you pursue?
Okay, when I was elected 2 years ago, the number one thing was streets. And we were fortunate enough to hire Peter Zanoni. He hired Richard Martinez from Fort Worth, and it has been a night and day change within the maintenance of our streets. We're finally doing in-house maintenance of and repaving of streets by city crews. That hasn't happened in several years. So we have already paved several streets within District 5, and I want to continue that process. Also want to plan for mobility, specifically the regional parkway. If you're familiar with the regional parkway, it's going to extend from Highway 286 or Crosstown and eventually connect with the island. We're offering a second entrance into the island, but part of that is connecting Rodfield Road to 286. And I worked real strongly with the MPO to move that project up, separate it from the island. That way we can start planning for mobility now and not wait until we have the problems with traffic. So realistically, it's really important to have our streets, and I've gotten my marching orders, and I'm going to do it.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So now, closing statement. You have 1 minute to wrap it up.
Okay. Well, since I'm the only one here,
Yeah.
there are a lot of important issues. It's not just taxes, it's also the utility rates. We have lots of issues. I mentioned this early with our issues with wastewater. We also have issues with water that are going to be just as expensive as the ones for wastewater. We can see upwards of $20 to $25 per month increase in our utility bill because of all these issues. This all stems from not having a strong asset lifecycle management and preventative maintenance plan within the city. That we haven't done preventive maintenance in decades. And it was evident in our streets, but it's systemic. It's everything in the city. And it has been something that I've made a personal goal of mine to make sure that we're doing proper asset lifecycle management and preventative maintenance, so we don't find ourselves in this position after we spend all this money to fix everything. So I'm a budget hawk, and I want to make sure that I'm doing the best for the citizens. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That's it for this portion. So thank you very much for running for City Council District 5, and you may go on and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Well, I got to go see Joe Biden and President Trump beat up on each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, good
All
night.
right.
Thank you for holding the forum. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.